What's up? How you doing? If you have heard me say it once, you've heard me say it a million times. Marketing has got to be at the core of your business strategy if you expect to get from zero to freedom anytime soon in your entrepreneurial journey. And honestly, one of my favorite marketing strategies that I've been talking about and that I'm going to dive even deeper into today is YouTube. That's right, using YouTube as a core piece of your marketing strategy. So if you're sitting there thinking, I like YouTube, I could do YouTube. I can do YouTube just as good as some of these YouTubers can do YouTube. And you specifically want to do YouTube in order to grow and scale your empire, then keep watching. Because today I'm going to teach you the 3 steps that you have to implement into your marketing strategy with YouTube at the core in order to convert people from absolute strangers into real live paying customers. So I'm going to head inside, get into some better lighting, and let's get to work. You an entrepreneur, I got what you need. All right, guys, so let's talk about this first step in a marketing strategy using YouTube at the core. And one of the biggest things that you're going to face is that YouTube is huge, right? There's tons of videos on YouTube. And so everybody just kind of roaming around is initially a stranger to you. So how do you get those strangers from being strangers into actually being visitors to your YouTube channel and being subscribers? And that, in essence, is step 1. Attracting strangers so that they actually become visitors. And how do you do that? Well, first, we have to identify which strangers I'm actually talking about, because I'm not talking about just any old stranger. I'm talking about the right strangers. Attracting the right strangers into your YouTube channel so that they will ultimately become customers. And that means, and I'm sure you've heard this before, that you really do have to niche down. What do I mean by niching down? Well, first, you want to start with your product or service. That product or service that you were trying to launch, that you are trying to sell, that you're getting your business started with, or that you're actually expanding your business into is the first step in attracting strangers and turning them into actual visitors. Because you don't just want to put any kind of content on your YouTube channel. That's not strategic. A lot of people do, and it might work for you if you're just trying to be a YouTuber and grow your YouTube channel for the sake of growing your YouTube channel. If it's something more fun or you're kind of playing with it or testing it out, it's okay. But if you really want to get YouTube and use it as a marketing strategy to grow your business, then you've got to be specific and you've got to niche down. Otherwise, if you put all kinds of content on YouTube, you're going to attract all kinds of strangers to your channel. And not every single one of them should be or will become customers for you. So niching down, being very specific about what content you're putting, what videos you're actually putting on your YouTube channel is critical to this first step. Now, how do you niche down? Well, like I said, you want to start with your product or your service, whether it's your overall business product or service, whether you are starting and launching a particular product or service in order to get your business off the ground, or whether you are expanding or just want to sell more of a particular product or service, you want to start there. Once you have got that product or service identified, you want to begin to ask yourself some questions. Questions like, who will pay for this? Who needs this? What problems for whom is this particular product or service going to solve? And then you want to dive into researching specifically what are all the questions that that particular person, that who that you've been asking yourself about, are looking to get solved. I usually focus a lot on identifying who that person is and doing a lot of research on social media surrounding what that person is looking for. How do I find that out? Well, I just read. They ask questions, they make comments, they provide reviews, they're in Facebook groups. Those folks will tell you exactly what their pain points are and what their difficulties are. And that is where you begin to come up with your content calendar, what your content's actually going to include. So for the first couple of weeks when I was trying to figure out what the marketing strategy was going to be in our business, I knew that YouTube was going to be that route. And I actually already talked about that in a previous video, actually when we got to 10,000 subscribers. So I'll go ahead and link to that video right now so that you can learn how I kind of came up with the whole idea of using YouTube as my marketing strategy. But once I did, I knew that the primary focus of this particular marketing strategy was going to be to attract a new kind of a customer into my business. My consulting side of the business is doing well. It always had been. It has its own leads. It has its own marketing strategy. And that really wasn't the side of the business that I wanted to market. I wanted to market the next side, the coaching side, the consulting side, the digital product, online courses, and membership side. And I knew that in that particular product or service, remember I said start with the product or service, I wanted to start with startup entrepreneurs and scaling entrepreneurs, entrepreneurs who really needed step-by-step hand-holding and guidance from someone who has been there and done that, and helping them navigate this entire complex world of becoming an entrepreneur. And the entire complex world doesn't have to be so complex if you've got somebody who's already been doing it that can actually show you how to get it done faster, easier, more effectively, and better. And that is who I wanted to attract. So I signed up for a ton of Facebook groups with those target people in it for startup entrepreneurs, for scaling entrepreneurs. I read comments in those Facebook groups. I would post questions to do some market research. I would read the questions that everybody was posting. And I just began keeping a list of all those difficulties and pain points and questions that people had. And I said to myself, can you answer these questions? Yes. Will you answering these questions and giving people the free training that they need to get these questions answered lead them into your business? Is it going to attract them? And ultimately, will your end product or end service really help provide them with the results? The answers were all yes. So that is where my strategy began. I knew that the strangers that I wanted to bring in were startup entrepreneurs and scaling entrepreneurs. I also knew that the product at the end initially was my startup membership academy that would really get people to that next level. So I knew that my content had to be niched down so specifically enough to attract that right stranger. And that is critical in this first step of using YouTube. So don't just put any old kind of video up there unless you want to attract any old kind of stranger. Niching down also helps the YouTube algorithm understand who you are. A lot of times people get confused as to, how is it that I'm able to get my video in front of more people? How does the YouTube algorithm even know? And a big part of all algorithms is it's able to detect, based upon what kind of content you produce, what kind of a visitor or stranger it should put your content in front of. And if you're all over the place doing videos, it's never going to be able to identify who it should put your content in front of. That's a big part of the reason why you hear people who teach you how to grow on YouTube and all that kind of stuff tell you that it's ideal to be able to niche down. And that's what I'm telling you as well when it comes to attracting them into your business and using YouTube as a marketing. Niching down helps your channel, but it also ultimately helps your strangers become customers. Now, step number 2. Once these strangers have become visitors, they're going to get to your channel. They are going to watch several of your videos because you're going to be consistent and you're going to put videos up every single week. And you're going to make sure that those videos are good videos that people can actually see results from that free content. Right? Right. Yes, CP. Put yes, CP down in the comments if you let me know that you have gotten this far and you hear what I am saying, right? You want to make sure that you're giving them that good content because once they're visitors, they're going to continue to binge. They're going to watch 2 videos. They're going to watch 3 videos. They're going to watch 4 videos. And then you're going to turn those visitors who've been binging and who have come back and they've now ultimately subscribed into leads. That is step number 2, turning your visitors into leads, converting them. And that is critical. So this marketing strategy will not be a marketing strategy if you can't get these folks off of YouTube, off of being visitors, actually into your business. And the best way to do that is using opt-ins or freebies. Now, you guys know how I feel about giving away tools, worksheets, workbooks, PDFs, things that you can actually use to go along your entrepreneurial journey. Almost every single video that I put on CPTV has some type of free tool that you can use. Now, some of those tools I've created created specifically for that video. But a lot of them are in my paid products, or there are things that I've actually used in my business. Regardless of what you do, you want to get your visitor into your business. And that means you've got to follow a freebie or opt-in process. So what do I mean? Well, you provide them with something free. You put it on a landing page. That landing page has a link. You include that link in your description or the comments underneath your video. Once they've watched it and they've loved it, they click that link, it takes them to that landing page, and then they're able to give you their name, give you their email address, and boom, you have converted those visitors into leads. Still don't know what I'm saying? All right, let me walk you through it. Let's head over to my computer in my office and I'll walk you through a really quick step-by-step on what that sales sequence looks like for me. All right, so let's head on over and I'll see you there. All right, guys. So what do I mean when I say call to action, giving away a freebie or an opt-in? So here we are on my YouTube channel, CPTV, as you can see. And I'm just going to go in because the majority of my videos actually have some type of freebie or opt-in. I love to provide tools for people to walk away with and have immediate impact. So you can probably click on any of these and find an opt-in. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on this one. This is one of my more popular videos. And before I start talking, I'm just going to walk you through kind of what I mean. So as you can see down here in the description, I include a link. Grab my free gift today if you want a step-by-step roadmap on how to set your business up in 6 easy steps. So when someone clicks on this link, it's going to then take them to a landing page. This is a landing page, and that landing page actually says, absolutely, here you go. Here's the free gift that I mentioned. All you got to do is click this button here. When someone clicks it, it asks for their email addresses. They're going to go ahead and enter in their email, and then they're going to, click on this, and then ultimately, boom, now they have been converted from a visitor from my YouTube channel into an actual lead because they are automatically in my business. Takes them to a thank you page, and it says, check your email box, because now what's happened is that they've been emailed that freebie, and it's going to automatically plug them into what I am going to teach you coming up here in step 3. It's that simple. Give them a link to something free that they can get value out of, takes them out to a landing page. They enter in their name and email address. It emails them that freebie from you, and boom, now they are from just a visitor on your YouTube channel to an actual lead in your business that you can continue to move through the rest of the steps and get this done. Okay, you get it? Awesome. Now let's talk about step number 3. Step number 3, and using YouTube as a key piece of marketing your business, is converting your leads into customers. Now, you just saw in the opt-in process that now you have that person's email. They are a lead in your business. Well, you don't just want to leave it there. You want to proceed through my 3 favorite email automations and sequences in order to get them from just being a lead or an email address in your system to actually making a purchase and buying a product from your business. My 3 favorite email automations and funnels is how you're going to do that. So what do I mean? Well, first things first, my very first favorite email automation sequence or funnel is the freebie delivery sequence. That is the email sequence that actually delivers the free product to your potential customer, or now to your lead. As you saw in step number 2, when I just walked you through that over the computer, they're going to go to a thank you page, and then they're going to actually be sent an email. Well, that email is a part of a complete email sequence that's automatically set and scheduled to do different things based upon what that lead does. The first email delivers the freebie to them, and it says, hey, here it is. Click the link and download it. If they don't do that, I've taken my sequences to kind of the next level. And I've learned over time that if you just send that one email, they may or may not actually download the freebie. If they don't download the freebie, then they're not using the freebie. And if they don't use the freebie, then they're less likely to actually convert into a customer because they haven't gotten the opportunity to actually see results from your assistants. That is why I've created an entire email sequence surrounding the freebie delivery. My email sequence for freebie delivery is usually 4 to 5 emails. 2 or 3 of them are follow-ups, and they're only triggered if the person receives the actual delivery email, that first email, and doesn't click the link to download the tool. I do that because a lot of emails can end up in spam and they don't even know that it's been delivered to them, or they haven't had a chance to actually download it, and then it kind of sits in their email box and they forget that they actually even wanted it. The goal is to not only get the email address, but to get them to use the freebie. You want them to experience the transformation. You want them to get used to using your tools because you want to show them how you can really help them. And that's why mine is a complete sequence. So if someone doesn't click the link from the initial email and download the tool, an automatic follow-up email will come a couple of days later. Hey, I noticed that you didn't download your tool. You need something from us? Did you check your spam? Do you need help, technical help? Were you unable to utilize it? And another one follows up and says, hey, how'd you like it? Did you use it? Give me some feedback. Send me an email message. So there's an entire video that I can do on email sequences. And speaking of that, if that's something that you want, go ahead and put email sequences in the comments below, CP, and I will get on that. That lets me know that you want to get that content. I'd be happy to walk you through more in detail these 3 email sequences. But that's my favorite first one, the actual delivery one. My second favorite email automation and funnel is the nurture sequence. And this is a very important nurture email sequence. It is designed to do exactly what the name says, to nurture the relationship between you and this lead. People buy from folks that they know, like, and trust. You've heard me say this before, and I'm going to say it again. Know, like, and trust. That's who people buy from. And the only way that you're going to get them to know you, to like you, and to trust you is to nurture that relationship. Think about it like, if you just start dating somebody. When you're dating, if you want to go on a second date, or if you want to take that relationship to the next level and actually seal the deal or go to dinner or whatever the case may be, you're going to want to nurture that relationship. So you text and you talk on the phone and you get to know each other over time, and slowly but surely that know, like, and trust grows. It is no different in your business. So my nurture sequence includes 2 key components. The first is a get to know me video email sequence that automatically goes to those so that they can hear my story, so that we can connect, so that they know that I understand where you're coming from, that I understand what they've been through, and that ultimately those leads can get an idea of what my journey has been. The second piece to that nurture sequence is real intense 7 to 14 days of additional specific content geared directly towards them. I continue to give them more free tips and tools. If you join my CP Insiders list, you're going to go through get a lot of emails from me that gives you additional workbooks and worksheets and tips and tools. It's almost like you're going to go through your own little course. You know what I'm saying? That you're actually going to be able to walk away with some real true strategies around getting your business set up and scaling it. And that's a big part of that nurture. I give you lots of free content because I want you to use it. I want you to see the transformation, and I want you to experience the benefits. Because if you can actually see transformation and results from what I give you from free, honey, you are going to wonder to yourself, this what I get from CP when I do stuff with her for free? What's going to happen if I actually pay for something and drop those coins? And that is the goal. Not only do I love giving away the free stuff and hearing the results because it helps me grow in my business and come up with different ideas, but it also kind of solidifies that relationship so that we can go on a second date or a third date, or ultimately, eventually, maybe even get you to pay for one of them dates. Okay? The third email nurture or sequence in step number 3 that I like to convert my leads into customers with is the sales funnel sequence. Now, this is an art form. I have tried so many different types of sales related emails to go into this sequence, but in essence, it is the hard close. It is the closing sequence. It's the one that says, hey, you started out on my YouTube channel watching some free videos. You thought enough of what I was teaching you to click a link and ask and request one of my freebies or opt-ins. You gave me your email address. I sent you a nurture sequence so that you could get to know me. I gave you a bunch of free stuff over the last 1 to 2 weeks, and now is your opportunity to pull the trigger and buy. That's what the sales sequence does. It actually plops your lead into an opportunity to pay and become a customer. And if you do this well, you will convert very well. Those folks will actually automatically become customers of yours. Now, sales sequences are its own beast, and I could actually do an entire video on how to perfect and what types of emails and what you want to do in an actual sales sequence. So I'm not going to get into that today because that's not what this is about. But it is the shit or get off the pot one. And like I said, not every stranger is going to become a visitor or subscriber. Not every visitor is going to become a lead, and not every lead is going to become a customer right away. But if you do a good job in that nurture, those who don't pull the trigger in that initial sales sequence will still be leads in your business. They'll still want that content, and you continually, cyclically give them opportunities to buy different things from you. If the first product that you offered wasn't a good fit, maybe it wasn't great timing, or maybe it wasn't the right product for them, then go ahead and make sure that you're continually offering them different opportunities to work with you and to ultimately become paying customers. And that's what the sales funnel sequence is all about. So yes, YouTube can be its own driver of an entire marketing strategy for your business. A very effective driver, I might add. I can tell you that the majority of leads that come into my business today are organic leads through YouTube. And the best thing about that is that YouTube is free. I've done the paid ads. I've done advertisement. Back in the day, I actually bought magazine ads and even some television ads, and they can be astronomically priced. YouTube has opened up our world as entrepreneurs to the opportunities of getting that basic marketing foundation. It is definitely work. It does require some blood, sweat, and tears, but it is totally, totally worth it. The majority of the leads that come into my business, like I said, are due to YouTube. Thank you so much for every single one of you out there that have been with us since the beginning. And don't worry, I'm going to continue to bring you that value. I'm going to continue to talk about how YouTube has changed the game for my business. And my game wasn't too bad when I first got started. So the future is bright. Okay. All right. So if you like this video, please make sure that you share it. Make sure that you grab the freebie that's included under here, an entire marketing strategy for you. I think I forgot to mention that a little earlier, but make sure that you grab it, and it's free for you to use, like how I did that, right? You know what I'm saying? You visitor to a lead. In any case, it's a paid piece that I use all the time, that actually people in my coursework use. I'm giving it to you guys for free. It's a complete marketing strategy workbook as well as a marketing plan, so make sure that you grab it. And until next time, my love, I will see you soon. All right, bye-bye. Mwah!